when I did like this, and he seen that beam, boom, I runs across the street. Boom, boom, whatever he had. So he had a 40. We goes back to the crime scene because I'm trying to find out who got shot. He pulls out of the coma. So they say he's learning how to walk, how to talk again. So I'm looking at my paperwork. Lifestyle is not a game. You will die in these streets.
هذا حد العالم هذا طالب هذا راسخ وإلى آخره
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. To all RipRight HD YouTubers and viewers, welcome back to a new video on RipRightHD. I'd like to apologize, guys, on not being consistent, and that's I'm big on consistency, but unfortunately I was unable to upload a video on Sunday. It was a lot of things going on. The pilot to the documentary is dropping. Shout out to 𝐁𝐄𝐂𝐌𝐄, all the rips who came out. And if you haven't got your sleeveless hoodie and your face mask, which is sweat belt, please go out and get it. Check the links in the description. So guys, this is my first, I can't say my first, but this is a shooting that I got caught for. So we're going to be doing a lot of skipping because I can't really delve too much into my past and things I didn't get caught for. I'm not trying to incriminate myself. So this is how I got 6 years in prison, okay guys? And this what really made me just leave the music alone, leave the clubs alone. Mind you, I got shot at a house party. Now I'm going to jail for 6 years for something that happened at a club. This club is well known. It was called the Synagogue. It was actually on the 2nd Glenwood, right there on Flatbush, close to where the B6 makes that turn, coming off the junction. Okay guys, now what's so crazy about this club is this is the same club that the 72nd precinct, I believe, grabbed 𝗥𝗜𝗣𝗦. I don't know if you guys remember him, a Haitian guy. They took him out that club for whatever reason, and they end up abusing him, assaulting him, and they stick a plunger up his anus, in which he had to have a feces bag for the rest of his life. He ended up getting $8 million. He was like the biggest payout in history as far as cop brutality and getting a lawsuit from it. Okay guys, he used to live right up the block from me. So all of this, and I've been to this club 3 times. My 3rd time was when the shooting happened. But every time I went to the club, it was something going on in that club. So we in the club, we chilling. I'm with a couple of the bros. At that time, I used to be around a lot of Crip dudes because that one was in the area. But I was on BMW time heavy, and I used to wear a lot of red. So a lot of people thought I was blood because I used to wear all color flags, red flags, blue flags, green flags, you name it, whatever matched my outfit. And so at this time, we in the club. The dude that's playing the sound, meaning the DJ, it's like 3 or 4 DJs in there. For whatever reason, it's one night they having like not a battle, but like the DJs are taking turns. So at the end of the party, they on the mic and they like, yo, big up to this DJ, he played a good sound. Yo, big up to this DJ, he played a good sound. Now mind you, we with one particular DJ and his sound. So the dude that's on the mic like kind of licked out against the DJ that we was with. When I say lick out, it's like a Jamaican terminology, like he, you know, was talking bad about us. Like, yo, yeah, that DJ, yeah. So he's saying this on the mic. As soon as he's saying that, my man stoles him. You know what I'm saying? So it get crazy in the club. A little rumble, nothing crazy because nobody didn't hold son down. So the security guards come grab him. They already know me from prior incidents from the last 2 times I was in the club. So I'm like notorious in there, but don't even know it. So they get him out the club. So we on his line. So you know what I'm saying? I said like, I got to get out the club because the strap is in the van. So that night I brought 2 straps. So I brought a High Point 9. It had a Cool in the beam on it. So it looked crazy like some RoboCop gun. Then I had a Brico Jennings. You know, we was messing with all types of, those joints was like $100 in VA at the time. Mind you, my boy is already in there with a 32 on him. He snuck it in the club. You know what I'm saying? And the 32s was pretty small Beretta, and they held a good amount of bullets. So the bouncer wouldn't let us out the club. So we like, all right, we cool, and we waiting, the lights turn on. So it's like 4 in the morning. And mind you, I'm still on probation at this time from the armed robbery that I had. Now, finally, I guess the car starts, that guy gets out of there, the one we was jumping all over. But everybody's railed up, and I want smoke. Because I was ignorant at that time, you know. So he finally lets us out. So when he lets us out, me and the bros, we get to the whip. So one of the bros grabbed my Brico. Then I grabbed the 9, because the 9 had the beam on it. It was pretty heavy. It was a 10-shot 9mm at the time. So High Points was trash, though. We all know that if you was into guns. So, but it gets the job done. So we get back in front of the club. Now there was another 9, a Cat 9, a small joint, compact joint. My other bro had grabbed that. So I'm in the street waiting outside the club, and there's a parked car in front of me. Like in between, I could walk through 2 parked cars. But I'm, like I said, I don't do the crowds like that. I be trying to get out of the crowd, you know, because I know how the crowd system works. But what I didn't know, that there was other dudes that wasn't in the club, but came up to the club. So, you know, they already strapped. So with some Flatbush dudes up there, you know what I'm saying? So cool. So you know, I see one dude, he talking crazy. Yeah, just got this new joint. Mind you, I don't know him. I'm about to light this joint up. So, you know, we catch eye contact. This is how funny it is. The dude we were fighting, he was long gone. So it should have been over. We were supposed to leave the club, get in the vehicle, pack the sound up, and go about our business. And first and foremost, we wasn't even supposed to pop on son. But you know how that go. If somebody on your team do something, it's go time. So I'm like, all right, he talking crazy. So he holding on to his grip. He like, yeah, I just got this joint. I'm going to test it out. So now I'm kind of like in the street in between the parked car, and he is looking directly at me. So you already know I got the joint out now down to my side, but nobody can see it. Now everybody talking in front of the club. Boom. So while he's looking at me, I'm like, yo, like what's good? Like, cause I'm waiting for him to grip. Cause as soon as he grip, you know what I'm saying? I'm a blow his head off. That's what I'm thinking. So he go like this, and then I just see him backing it out. So when he backs it out, it was, you know, it was a no-brainer for me. I'm already out, so I got the drop on you. But I got him by a few feet because he's on the sidewalk. I'm in between the parked car. So I lift. When I lift and he sees the beam all in his face, I guess he drops his hammer because he's trying to back out and I'm lifting up. I don't know this man from Adam. Do you understand? I'm not drunk. I'm not high. At that time, I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. That wasn't my thing. I was able to do a homicide sober. You know, like most people you see, oh, they get drunk, they put on Tupac. I don't need no music. I didn't need nothing. I was just on go mode. You know what I'm saying? So when I did like this and he seen that beam, I let boom, and he dropped his hammer. That's the only thing that saved his life. I start dumping, boom, boom. So he's scattering. Everybody start wilding in front of the club. I'm trying to get him, but it was hard. I don't know if I hit him or not. I doubt it, because in my paperwork later on down the line, you'll find out why I say I doubt it, because only one person actually got hit that night. And I believe that the person that I was shooting at hit him. So this how it went. So after I finished dumping, boom, 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 I'm backing up now, boom, boom. So I'm out. So now that I'm out, I goes back this way in the street. The van is parked across the street. So this is Flatbush, 4 in the morning, no police. I runs across the street. Then I'm hearing, boom, boom, whatever he had. So he had a 40. I come to find out later, somebody blowing. I can't see because I'm behind the car. So they blowing at the truck, wild crazy. Boom, 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 boom. So I see my other man trying to get right with the Brico. It was just bananas, but it was like the Matrix. So now the van, my boy that drives the van, he can't even get to the van because he has an issue. Like, he's in a wheelchair, so I couldn't get out of Dodge. I had no way to really dip off the scene. It took us a while to, like, yo, it was so crazy. No police. This had to be going on for about 5 to 6 minutes. So once all of the shots done, I see somebody running into a car. So I go over there by the car. So the dude like, yo, hop in, bro. Hop in, bro. But I don't really recognize his face. So I hops in anyway. I hops in the back seat. I'm like, yo, get out of there. He like, nah, hold on. I'm waiting for the bro. Do you know who jumped in the front seat? The dude from the beginning of the whole situation. Like, I want to make sure my head is in this. The dude from the beginning of the whole situation. Yo, when I seen him, he jumped in the front seat. My heart dropped. Yo, this is how crazy it was. I bust the door, hop out, and keep it pushing, go by the van. Now I got to just dip off the scene because we can't even get the van up and ready. So this is the time I think Nokia's was out. So I had a Nokia. So boom, I got the grip on me. I dip. I just start walking all the way down by Rogers, the fireplace. Y'all know over there, 2nd Glenwood. So boom, my man hit me. We get in contact. So he like, yo, somebody got hit out here. Police, bop, everybody come in. Whoop-de-woo. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, yo, where the van at? I'm not even caring who got shot. I'm like, yo, where the van at? He like, yo, we coming just now. Boop, 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 boop. Meet up on this block. I don't even remember what block we met up on. So the van pulls up. They like, yo, what we gonna do? I'm like, yo, I don't know. They like, yo, we ain't gonna drive away right now. We gonna chill. So me being a dummy, me and a couple of the bros, we drops the hammers in the van. We goes back to the crime scene. Because I'm trying to find out who got shot. They got the caution tape and everything out there. So we looking. I'm like, yo, who got hit? We don't even know who got hit. So we out there for like 5 to 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes trying to find out what's the scenario. We done shot up this club. Somebody done got shot. You understand what I'm saying? And we are the culprits behind it, whether we did it or we didn't do it, but we at the crime scene. So now, after about 10 minutes trying to find out what's the scenario, we dip. I'm telling you, this is like a movie, and this is how crazy I was. I didn't even care. We slide back, we get into the van, drive back to the crib. The van damn near is on a rim, because dude that was blown with the 40, son, if you see the size of the slug they pull out the van, by the time I don't know how we get home, son, the whole tire, everything in the front, the van was like lit up. How we got away? Allahu a'lamu, Allah knows best, man, the Most High. I'm telling you, it was so crazy. Mind you, I took pictures in the club that night. So I had on a gray polo top, gray polo bottom. All right, I had my black do-rag. I used to have gold teeth, fronts, tops at the bottom, tops at the top, 6 and 6. So I had braids and everything at that time. So, my braids was sticking out. So my boy drops one of the pictures of us in the club. So now the cops is on to me. So the bouncers, because I'm notorious, right? But I didn't know because some stuff happened prior. they like, yo, this dude right here did XYZ, bop, 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 bop. So now I'm in the hood on ice for like 2 months. Dudes coming to my crib. Yo, police jumped out on me asking for sin. Yo, such and such. Police jumped out on me asking for sin. Yo, such and such. I'm like, yo, this joint is getting like a movie. So now I'm leery. So I'm trying to stay in the crib, but I'm not a crib dude at this time. I used to be on the street so much. So one day I go to the park. Boom, I'm in H Park. You know, God was great. So this time I just lost a 45. So I'm in H Park with no strap for the first time in it felt like eons. So I'm in there. I just see police coming from one side, police coming from the next side. They run up on me. So we trying to walk outside the park. So as we walking outside the park, they grab me like, yeah, what's your name? I'm like, yo, what you mean what's my name? They're like, yo, what's your name? I'm not answering. So they booked me. So out of all of the people I was with, they only booked me. So they, you know, they was, obviously they had a warrant for my arrest. So they bring me to the precinct. They say, yo, you're going to be charged for a homicide. I'm like, a homicide? I ain't do nothing. They like, yeah, you did. You shot so-and-so in the head at the night, May, whatever. It was 2 months later. So that happened like, I forgot what month that happened, but I know I ended up getting caught like May 1st. I went to the can. This was like 2003. So it's so scary and so spooky. I'm on Rikers Island for about 29 months at this time. The whole 29 months he was in a coma. He was 23 years old. He got shot in the head with a 40, and then he also got shot in his leg. So I'm like, oh, I'm beating this case. I didn't hit him. He didn't have nothing to do with it. The dude I was blaming at hit him in my head. So I'm like, they didn't catch me with no grip. It was like 6 hammers out there, a 32, 2 different 9s, a 40, plus my 9. So it was like 5 to 6 hammers out there, shell casings. One of the hammers had a body on it from 42nd. It was crazy. So I'm seeing all of this in my paperwork. I'm like, yo, I'm about to beat this charge. So I'm sitting on the island for 29 months. So he pulls out of the coma. So they say he's learning how to walk, how to talk again. So I'm looking at my paperwork. I see the bouncer telling. I see his friend telling. I see his brother that wasn't even there, pulled up late telling. All 3 of them got 3 different descriptions because there was multiple shooters. Only one of them had the right description. So I'm like, man, when I finally got a lawyer on the case, he like, yo, you're going to beat the attempt because they can't prove that your gun hit him. But you're going to blow to the gun because they can prove that you were shooting. You know, if you was one of the shooters. And everybody in the thing in my paperwork kept saying that they seen a beam, black gun, infrared beam. Even though they had 3 descriptions. One had shortcut, white shirt, red design, and one had box braids, blue spring jacket. Next one had gray sweatsuit. You know what I'm saying? Down to a T. He had me down to a T. So he was the only one. You know, but all of them described the gun the same way. Like, how y'all describe the gun the same way? What, y'all was looking at the barrel like, oh, we seen a beam. We heard shots. And then we seen the dude go down. So I ended up doing like 6 years behind this case. Because I pled out. He came out of the coma, learned how to walk and talk again. They dropped my my plea bargain from 15 all the way to 9. Then they went to 8.5. Then they went to 7. Then they went finally to 6. Mind you, while I'm in prison, the dude that actually did the shooting, I don't know him. He gets murdered. How do I find out? From the streets. So the one that got hit in his head, they saying one of his peoples came and murdered the dude. So I'm sitting in jail in reality for a dead man. But I'm not tripping because I was involved in the situation. So I holds it down. You know, none of my mans ever got booked for that. for that shooting. I was the only one out of about 6 people that got locked up for that shooting. So once I finally gets upstate, I meet some Flatbush dudes, and I'm like, yo, they like, yeah, so and so, you locked up for his case. I'm like, yeah. They like, yo, you know, he ended up catching a body. I'm like, who? They like, the dude that they said you shot in the head that night. I'm like, what? They like, yeah, he came out the coma, learned how to start walking and talking again. Just recently, he caught a homicide and flew back to Haiti. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know what his situation was before the shooting. So I played a major role in that, I believe, because maybe he was a good kid. You know what I'm saying? He just was at a club. He probably drinks, little smoking here and there, which regular kids do. I'm not condoning drinking. I'm not condoning smoking. But there are good people that drink and smoke. Unfortunately, they drink and smoke, which we consider illegal in the religion. But he probably was a good kid. Now, boom, he gets shot in the head. He's in a coma for 29 months. He gets out of the coma, learn how to walk and talk again, and then probably gets to feel that, you know what? A dude ain't never going to hit me. I'm going to be the one doing the hitting. Because sometimes that's what happens. After you become a victim, you start to victimize. You understand? You start to be the oppressor after you become oppressed. So it was just a lot. I never met him. I don't know him. And I asked that he forgive me for starting that foolish shootout that had it didn't make any sense. Just, you know, sometimes you think, man, I think if I had a gun range and I had access to certain things and I had more knowledge at that time, I would have been a lot better off. But when you're in the hood and you're excited about weapons and then you have no place to shoot it, the first thing you think about is you can't wait for beef. It's just crazy. But I don't know if, please comment down below if I'm the only one that feels like that or that felt like that at that time. Because it just made so much sense. So once again, clubbing at these clubs where you know the security is not tight is a bad idea, where people could get guns in, or it's a bunch of rowdy people. You could come in with any kind of gear and clothing. Mad weed and drugs are in the club. Recipe for disaster. You know what I'm saying? 2, once you get out the club, leave. Go straight home. All of that mingling outside on Flatbush, we call it gat bush. Gat, a hammer, a grip, a toaster, a push broom. When you outside in those areas, you already know dudes is strapped. Recipe for disaster. So I'm saying, man, in my opinion, man, you know, music is illegal in the religion. Smoking, drinking. But if you're going to do that stuff, man, do it at the comforts of your own home, man. Or do it in a place where you're going to be safe, man. And try to get off of it, man, because it's not really worth it. That lifestyle, partying, is so much. People die at parties. So many people die at these parties. It's ridiculous. Like I said, I got shot at a house party. Now, boom, I'm at another party at a club, and I end up getting 6 years. So that was it after that. I'm done with music. I'm done with partying. I'm done with clubs. I'm chilling. I done caused somebody's whole life. He lost years of his life. And then perhaps because of that situation, he became a tyrant. So that's blood on my hands, whether I shot him or not. And I take full responsibility, man. I hope y'all benefit from these stories and understand that, yo, this lifestyle is not a game. You will die in these streets or go to jail, man. And it's too many of our parents, our mothers, our sisters, our loved ones, man, be stressing and crying for us. It's hard doing a bid with somebody. I've done it. I've sent packages upstate. I've visited people on Rikers Island, Sing Sing, you name it. And when they doing time, you feel it as well. Stay tuned. Stay rip. 6-pack. Big bag.
Indeed, in the body, literal translation, is a صلحت صلح الجسد كله. And when that lump of flesh